Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Hari Om. So, we saw Hridayam means he himself, I am Hrit, he himself is self. Before we saw, at the time of sadhana, it is okay to say that self is in the heart, but after siddhi, one will realize the self is heart. Then the thought is, where is the heart? It is on the right side. And from that right side, the heart, the effulgence, the Jnana Jyoti, Jnana Prakashakam, Prakasha, emerges out of the heart through Sushumna. It goes up and lights up the entire Sahasrara. Like so many bulbs are kept, and one switch electricity, the one electricity goes through one cable, and through that it bifurcates and lights up all the bulbs at once. Like that, Sahasrara is lit up. So that Sahasrara effulgence, from Sahasrara, from the crown chakra, it goes down and pervades the whole body, every wee bit of it. Because of that Jyoti, we are able to get the diversified experiences in the world. And because of our perception of the variety of experiences, one becomes samsari. So, in the light of that, consciousness or jnana jyoti or effulgence, I am seeing all the objects, but I don't see the light. Though objects are not visible without the light, but I don't see the light. I see only the objects. So the source of the light is ignored. Only the objects which are lit up in the light are recognized. Having said this, how will a Atmastha Purusha, the one who is rooted in his own self, stationed in self, as self, see the Sahasrara chakra and the effulgence which emerges out of the heart and lights up the whole Sahasrara? How does he see that light? That's the question where we stopped yesterday. So, Tarihi Hridayastasya kidrusham sahasraram drushyate ityaha. For the man who is established in Atma, as a heart, in the heart, as a self, how does he see the Sahasrara chakra? To him, how does it appear? So this Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says in the 8th verse, Atmastasya sahasraram Shuddham Jyotirmayam Bhavet Tatra Jivenna Sankalpaha Yedi Sanidhyatah Patet Atmastasya Tatra jivenna sankalpo. Beautiful. Now see, Atmastasya, Atmastaha. Staha means who is seated, rooted, established. So Gruhastaha, one who is rooted in Gruhastha, identified with Gruha. Chairastaha, one who is seated in the chair. Confusionastaha, one who is seated in confusion. So Atmastaha, one who is seated in self. So Atmastasya, of the one who is rooted in the heart, seated in the heart, as heart. Seated in the heart again, he is the heart. Means what? Jnaninaha, of that jnani, Sahasraram, crown chakra, that is Murdhani Manasthanam. So, Murdhani, Sahasraram in the crown. What is it? Manasthanam. Manaha Sthanam is the Sahasrara chakra. इसलिए हम कहते हैं खोपड़ी में क्या क्या चल रहा है. बोलते हैं कि ना तेरे खोपड़ी में क्या क्या विचार चल रहा है. और if the too many thoughts are there, will you hold your feet? बहुत thoughts हो गया मेरे दिमाग में करके. Hold head only, no? सोच कर मैं थक गया हूँ करके दिमाग पकड़ता है, head. Why? This is the place. So through brain waves only, the science also can see through instruments what kind of waves are being passed, alpha waves, beta waves, gamma waves, and how they are. So this is how it happens. So the brain. So brain is manasthanam, it is said here. The moolam is hrudayam. Because the seed, where is avidya? We have seen, we have to remove avidya wherever it is located. So if it has to cover the heart, right, where should be the avidya located? In the heart. If I want to cover this glass with a kapda, so where should the kapda should exist? Around the glass only, no? So wherever the truth is, there alone avidya is there. Avidya is covering the truth. So source is heart, avidya, moolam. That is, avidya produces kama, and that's all there thrown up in the brain, in the head, murdhani, in the head. So, for the one who is established in the truth, how is his murdhani, sahasrara chakra? He says, Shuddham Vrittibihi Abhaditam. It's a beautiful thing. It is like a full crystal clear effulgence. The entire Sahasrara is, that's how the pictures they put aura behind. Because the entire area is lit up. So milky white. Just for tapasya I am giving you one. Crystal clear, pure light. Milky light. Suddham. That is Vrittibihi Abhaditam. It is not cut by, covered by, or in the white wall, if you find the small spots of black spots here and there. So that black spot is obstructing the homogeneity of the white light, the white paint on the wall. The continuity of the wall, light on the wall, or the paint, is in between cut by the presence of a black spot. If one black spot, we can know. If all black spots only are there on the wall, लाइट दीवार भी दिखता नहीं हमको. Sometimes yes, here and there chamak udar chamak. That is our condition. Just for humor sake, evening when we come here, that one chamak will come out. After the class, that also will be covered. तो क्या होता है? So why I am giving example, you can visualize. Abhaditam means what? It is not cut by any other object or thought which is not that light. Other than that light, there is no other vastu. What can be other vastu in the mind, in the brain or in the mind? Thought. So, it is Shuddham Vrittibihi thought. Abhaditam. So, therefore, that is not cut by a thought. A thought is not flashing in between. When the thought flashes, it is like suddenly in the milky pure light, a black light is coming up, or a red light is coming up, or a yellow light is springing up, or grey or green, whatever, other than the purity. For information, a thought has its own color. Thought has shape, dimension. Thought has color. Colored by the kind of the thought that you produce. And thought has direction. And thought has intensity. Thought has speed also. So, if you are a yogi, and if you happen to see anybody's crown, the head region, it will be like a colorful flower pot. Diwali flower pot will be there, no? Coming up different colors. It's like a chimney. Continuously thoughts emerge. हमने कहीं नहीं पढ़ा ऐसा. अगेन स्टेटमेंट, योर इग्नोरेंस और नॉलेज इज नॉट प्रमाण फॉर दिस. शास्त्र में ढूंढो, मिलेगा आपको. सो शुद्धम मीन्स दैट दिस लस्टर इज देयर इन द हेड, बट अबाधितम, वृत्ति भी अबाधितम, ज्योतिर्मयम, प्योर मास ऑफ लाइट. फॉर होम? फॉर द वन हु इज सीटेड इन द हार्ट, रियलाइज्ड, ज्ञानिनः. ज्ञानमयम एव भवेत्, शुद्ध ज्ञानमयम भवेत्. That's the light, the pure light, luster, effulgence, brilliance of the one who is seated in the heart, realized. Tatra sahasrare sankalpo vrittirupaha सानिध्यतः, सानिध्यम च सामीप्यम, तस्मात् तसिल सार्वविभक्तिकः अत्र सप्तमी अर्थे. ग्रामर नॉट रिक्वायर्ड फॉर अस. सहस्रारस्य निकटे इत्यर्थः. नाउ तत्र सहस्रारे, इन दैट सहस्रार चक्र, संकल्पः मीनिंग वृत्ति रूपो संकल्पः. संकल्प मीन्स वृत्ति रूपः. सी, संकल्पः तत्र जीवेत न संकल्पः. So that's vritti rupa, that is sankalpa, a thought. Vritti rupa, sanidhyataha, sanidhyam, that is the proximity of the thought. Proximity of the thought, sahasrarasya nikate ityartaha. Now, that in that zone, let me call it as a zone of that sahasrara chakra, of a Mahatma, entire, where the mind field is there. It's a pure brilliance, effulgence, mass of light. It is not disconnected, cut by any other substance, any other thought. There. So in that zone of that light of that Mahatma, Sanidhyataha, meaning Sahasrarasya Nikate, there in that zone, Yadi Patet Yataha Kutopi Agachan Sankalpaha Jyotirmaya Sahasrara Samipapati Chet. This entire zone. There, from where? Somewhere. Kutopi. Doesn't matter. Because it's a whole world is full of thought zone. We are all living in the thoughts. Thought waves, thoughts, thought world. So from somewhere, some thought, patati, it falls into this zone. He doesn't produce. That is why we also say, suddenly I got a thought. I'll ask next question, from where? From where did you get a thought? That we don't inquire. We are happy with the thought. Suddenly I got a thought to eat pakoda. Then I went and ate pakoda. Very good. From where did you get the thought? Suddenly, out of the blue. Such mein, I was not thinking about pakoda at all. I was doing my japa. But during japa, where did you get pakoda thought? So in our case, we can say it could be from memory, or some other pakoda thought from somewhere came as a hook and pulled out your samskara also up, intensified the desire and disturbed you on meditation, makes us get up and immediately besan mangao, mirchi mangao, प्याज mangao, आलू मंगाओ, पहला पकौड़ा खाने के बाद ही मेडिटेशन होगा. See, please understand. We should know what the hell is happening inside us, no? So that thought could be ego to disturb you. I think what is the best thought to disturb him now? So ego is searching from the memory bank, chitta, mental stuff. I think this thought, if I release, this guy will be disturbed now. Ego knows. Because it has become efficient since millions of lives. So इस समय कौन सा थॉट फेंकूं अंदर से? नीचे से one bubble erupts. So I said, pakoda thought should come out. You will be disturbed. Because I don't want him to meditate. Why? His meditation and spiritual progress is my death. I don't want to die. I can keep him in an illusory state of delusion for a long time. That you are progressing spiritually, you are beautiful, you are wonderful, ये वो. किसी हालत में उसको मोह में रखना है. I should not let him progress. So what the thought comes out from the pool of the memory, or from somewhere the thought comes. In the drawing room, somebody releases thinking of pakoda. That thought can immediately, there is a magnet in you. Other thought is their pakoda thought. So like attracts like. So that thought comes from veranda. Let Papa come out of the room, meditation, I'll ask pakoda. He need not come out of the room. The pakoda thought already reached him. It disturbs. So suddenly you get a thought of pakoda. Pakode plural. Therefore, from somewhere the thought comes. For us, it sticks because our substance is glued. It's a gum-like substance, It is not like the sticky substance, our mind. Our entire mental, the zone in the Sahasrara Chakra zone is very sticky. Gum, चिपक जाता है. कोई भी thought आया, to pluck it, that thought is very dangerous, very difficult for us. Because, one thought comes, it sticks to me, my consciousness. Without this explanation, you can't understand this sloka. So I am giving this correct. Whatever we are discussing is what happened to us. Correctly, what is happening to us. So, but in the case of Mahatma, it's full of effulgence. No other thought is able to disrupt the flow of the light of consciousness or the effulgence here. But from somewhere thought comes. Mahatma also is in the same word. Therefore, Sahasrara कहते हैं, patet falls, यदि if, yataha kutaha, somewhere, kutopi agachan, somewhere कहीं से निकल गया, आ गया thought. किसी का thought था वो. Sankalpaha, that is Jyotirmaya Sahasrara Samipapati Chet, that Sankalpaha comes into the Jyotirmaya Sahasrara Samipapati. Sahasrara ke Samip mein, which is Jyotirmaya Sahasraram. Our Sahasraram is Dullmaya Sahasraram, occasional Lightmaya Sahasraram, colorful Maya Sahasraram, dirty Maya Sahasraram, impure Maya Sahasraram. And light is there, otherwise you will not be here. Light is in everybody. It is always there, light is always there. We get filled with so many thoughts. But in the case of Mahatma, that thought comes Sahasrara Samipapati Chet, if. Chet means if the thought comes from somewhere, na jivet, it doesn't survive. In our case, the thought marries, produces children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and within microseconds, the thought becomes so huge in parivar and establishes its kingdom in the brain, in the mind. Suppose happily sitting there. Somewhere from some thought you got, hey, movie देख के बहुत साल हो गए, movie देखना है. One thought came. That thought instantly, it won't, so many thoughts come out of it. कहाँ जाना है, किससे पूछना है, कौन सा मूवी है अच्छा है, कौन सा मॉल अच्छा है, बहुत 70 में देखना है, टिकट मिलेगा क्या, अरे ये देख लो, कैसे जाना है, पेट्रोल है कि नहीं, गाड़ी ड्राइवर है कि नहीं, ऑटो में जाना है क्या, ऊबर में जाना है क्या, ओला में जाना है क्या, एंड कहाँ जाना है, अरे खाना भरना है तो बर्तन धो के जाना है तो जाके धोखेंगे, संसार explodes. In our case, it survives, it establishes its wide family. एक महात्मा जी थे, he is no more. He used to write beautiful commentaries on Bhagavad Gita and very great Mahatma speaker. Gurudev also, his guru was a great Mahatma, another great tapasvi the, Mahatapasvi. He lived for 12 years only on eating leaves of a particular tree on the hills. Then once I went to that place, that ashram people told, यही इसी पेड़ के पत्ते बने, इस तरह के जो पेड़ के पत्ते हमारे गुरुजी परम गुरुजी खाते थे और तपस्या करते थे, 12 साल इसी पत्ते को खाकर जिए हैं। हम भी खाए पत्ते, 12 साल छोड़ो, कम से कम एक तो खा लेंगे एक बार। Little sweet leaves, not so kadwa, not very interesting taste it is. Still it can lingering in my mind. Oh, 10-15 मैं भी खा लिया। So that Guru Mahatma's disciple, he's a great other Mahatma, very tapasvi थे. So he used to write, he used to tell in his lectures, thought comes first as a guest. And we say, no, there's no accommodation. Already so many guests are there. We can't accommodate you. Please go out. We say. The thought says, it seems, no problem, I can adjust. I will not have any complaint. So thought at the door pushes 1 foot inside. Whole body outside the door, threshold. 1 foot inside, and slowly pushes and makes space to stand comfortably on 2 feet. Then slowly pushes itself and makes space to sit. Then slowly pushes others, makes space to completely lie down. वो कहते थे, इतना सा मौका जरा सा दिया प्रेम के कारण, वो अपना संतान संसार बना के रखता है। But in the case of Mahatma, na jivet, the thought doesn't survive. It cannot survive. As though mysteriously the thought enters, it dissolves. It cannot survive. Na jivet. Nashyet eva ityartha. Na jivet means nashyet. Jivet is tatra jivet na sankalpah. Sankalpah na jivet. Mula slokam. Meaning what? Nashyet eva ityartha. It just gets destroyed. Thought. The contra I am giving you. In our case, Mr. Chipkali. In Mahatma's case, it just can't survive. Any thought, it dissolves. Nashyet evityataha jnaninaha sahasrarasya shuddha jyotirmayatvat. Jnani sahasrara is shuddha jyotirmayat. It is a pure effulgence. It's a pure effulgence. The Jnani's Sahasrara is pure effulgence. Mayatvat Nisankalpasya Tatsya Khatitam. There is no Sankalpa there. No thought can be there. अब हमारा बताओ, बड़ी मुश्किल से साफ किया. Suppose, like dressing the wound with pus. You dress the wound. Suppose there is a pus inside, little oozing. So everyday dressing it is called. So you just put it, you clean it with the Dettol and then some medicine or betadine liquid, and then put a medicine, then put a band-aid. But that very nice. After 1 hour, again you see the blood color there. Red color, oozing. And by next day, it become again red. Doctor बोलते हैं कोई बात नहीं, कल से थोड़ा कम हुआ होगा. Again. So when we try to remove the thought, the source, the sanchita karma is there, no? That we are not exhausted. So it oozes. Oh, I am not affected by prarabdha, I am Brahman. ये बात करते रहो. Fact is, Sanchita karma is there. So it oozes. Again, the Sahasrara will be filled with thoughts. But in Mahatma's case, already established in the heart, no vasanas, is effulgence. In that effulgence, if any thought comes, it cannot survive. Beautiful thing. Nisankalpatvam tasya katitam. Arthat, their meaning is what? Ajnaninaha sahasraram vritti malinam eva. It is polluted by thoughts. Whose sahasrara is polluted? Ignorant man's or woman, ignorant person's sahasrara is polluted by thoughts. Not one thought. Innumerable thoughts. So our sahasrara is polluted by innumerable thoughts. All thoughts can be classified under kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. But their santana, great-grandchildren, great-great-children, great-great-great-great-great-great-children, and their expansion, their subdivisions and subdepartments and sub-bosses in that, it's a huge heap of papogha. Ogha means a heap of sins, of vasanas. So, Ajnaninah sahasraram vritti malinameva bhavati natu shuddham jyotirmayam iti khatitam bhavati. So what it is said now, meaning is, it is said that Ajnani's sahasrara chakra is malinam, completely malinam, vritti malinam, polluted by thoughts. In the case of the wise man, who is established in truth, Shuddham Jyotirmayam. But in the case of Ajnani, it is not Shuddham Jyotirmayam. It is not pure effulgent light. In the case of Jnanis, it is pure effulgent light. So this is the thought. Ab batao, is it not giving us a greater clarity? Now, manasaha vishayagrahane api yogabango nasyat atmastasya iti aha. Now, if that is the case, if the mind is there in Sahasrara and no thought can survive in that, but how can he live and do vyavahar? Thought is required. व्यापार दुनिया का खाना है, पीना है. महात्मा जब बोलेंगे मेरे ब्रेकफास्ट ले आओ, मेरे कपड़े धुलवाओ, गाड़ी तैयार करो, जाना है, अरे उनसे फ़ोन करो, बात करना है. महात्मा जब भी बोलते हैं, व्यापार करते हैं. And no thoughts can exist only in Sahasrara Chakra. So what happened to that? He says, mind, even though it is grasping, perceiving the objects of the world, there is no bhanga for yoga sthiti. The thoughts are floating as a functional. No thought is sticking. It cannot survive, number one. Number two, a thought exists only at that time or for that duration of vyapar or transaction. Before that and after that, the thought doesn't exist. In our case, it becomes memory. They also have memory, but their memory is not like our memory. Our memory is like it's glued. Their memory is not glued. So, from the memory a thought comes, it floats, does vyapar and goes away. So, they remain always pure effulgent. So, the mind vyapara, mano vyapara is going on. But there is no break, there is no bhanga to that yoga sthiti. Yoga sthiti is not disrupted. What is yoga? United. That sthiti, the state of their seated there, identifying themselves with the pure self, existing as pure self, that state is not disturbed. For the Mahatmas, Atmastasya, that is said in 9th verse. Therefore, Vijñāyamāna Vishayam Sannikarshena Yadyapi Na Bhavet Yoga Bhangaya Bhedasya Grahane Manaha Vijñāyamāna Vishayam Sannikarshena Yadyapi Na Bhavet Yoga Bhangaya Bhedasya Grahane Yadyapi, although. Otherwise, the Mahatmas, otherwise what happened? The moment one realizes the truth, he should disappear from the worldly scene. The body will fall off and he can no more be available for teaching. But here the Vedanta says the body continues as long as Prarabdha is there. But he has no connection with it. So a great person, I have shared this, some of the lectures in the past. One day that person was sitting, a grahastha, ordinary man will look for ordinary outer people, ordinary person only. So when I went to his house, no one was there. So from the window, the flat door ke bar window bhi hota hai. So window I just peeped and I saw that gentleman was sitting quietly in a easy chair, relaxed. He was opening his eyes, was seeing only. He said, the moment he saw me, door is open, come inside. So I opened the door and came inside, touched his feet. I said, "Kya kar rahe ho?" He said, "Nothing." Nothing. I said, ऐसे कैसे? नथिंग मतलब जिस बैठे तो बैठे कुछ नहीं कर रहे क्या? नहीं, करने के लिए मेरे पास तो मन ही नहीं है. He said, I don't have mind to do. I said, बकवास ज़्यादा हो गया है. If you don't have mind, how are you talking to me? I asked him. Very close to me. How are you talking to me? He said, oh, I propose, the mind manifests. So mind is manifesting whenever I propose. The word you use, propose. I propose. It manifests. When you go and nobody else is there, nothing else for me to do, there is no requirement of mind. Mind dissolves. He is the younger brother of my father. Great Mahatma he was. He taught me so many things right from childhood. So I said, Are Baba, he was a mission member also, committee member also, there for some time. अरे महाराज जी पता है आपने बहुत बढ़िया दिया है. Then he laughed. Now you got it? I said yes. That's how I stay. He said. That's how the Mahatmas live. When the transaction time, the mind appears. And there is no karta bhav, bhokta bhav. From our side, it appears as though he is doer and enjoyer. That's what he says. So there is, once is established in the truth, seated, established firmly in the truth of that I am Atman, I am Brahman. There afterwards, there is no bhanga to that state. There is no disruption. Bhanga means disruption. That state is not disrupted. Even though the mind is very active, observing, perceiving the worldly objects, doing all kinds of transactions, there is no disruption to the state of that yoga. That is the state. So, Vijnaya Yadyapi Manassannikarshena Indriyartha Sannikarshena. Manassannikarshena means Indriyartha Sannikarshena. In the proximity of the Indriyas, Vastus, Indriyas and Indriya Vastus, Indriyartha both. So, Indriyatmakataya Avastitasya Manasaha Puraha, Manapuraha, Manasah Puraha. So, before the mind, sense organs are there, and through sense organs, the worldly objects are there in front of the mind. Even though tad indriyartheshu upastiteshu satsu iti yavat. So, those when they are respective indriyas and the indriya sense objects respective to that particular organ, when they exist. Satsu means when they are there. Indriyartheshu satsu iti yavat. And vijnayamana vishayam, vijnayamanaha vishayaha. He is not that he is blind. He is knowing it. He is aware of the objects. He is getting the knowledge of the objects which are present. He is getting that. So, vijnayamanaha vishayaha yena tad bhavati iti bhavati iti adhyaharyam, that we have to add. Tathapi, even then, yadyapi, although, tathapi, even then. Statement like that. Although and even then, bhedasya agrahane sati, bhedadastau asatyam ityarthaha. See, even though he is perceiving the differences, but there is no bheda drushti in them. Now, what is happening now? Bheda is recognized, differences are noticed, but there is no bheda drushti in them. So that means what? Differences are perceived, but the knowledge about the light of that, consciousness, which is illumining the objects, is never lost. So the example I'll give you later on. So differences are perceived, but the knowledge of differences, that is not taking place. That jnanam is not taking place. ये भेद है, ये अलग है, ऐसा ज्ञान नहीं हो रहा है. भेद को देखता है, भेद को मालूम भी हो रहा है, मालूम कर रहा है, भेद को अनुभव भी कर रहा है, मगर भेद का ज्ञान नहीं होता. क्या क्या परेशान है. Very simple example I'll give you. Very simple. The jeweler sees the differences in the ornaments of the gold, but he has no knowledge of the difference of the ornaments. देखता है अलग अलग है, बट वास्तविक ज्ञान क्या है? ये सब सोना ही है. ऐसा ये ज्ञान उसमें कभी लुप्त नहीं होता. Even though he is perceiving the differences in the ornaments, a necklace is different from the earring is different from the wedding ring, or wedding different from the other ring, whatever the objects are there. Various objects made up of the gold, he sees the differences. For Vyavahar ke liye, he cannot call the spoon as a plate as a, what do you call, katori, gold katori. He will not call all that. He will do Vyavahara Vyapara. But ये वास्तविक दृष्टि से सब अलग अलग है, ऐसा ज्ञान उनमें नहीं होता. That means even though he is from morning till evening, he is counting the cups and saucers and plates and wedding rings and earrings, etc., necklaces and gold chain, etc. In and through all these things, his knowledge that this is all gold is never lost. In our case, that knowledge we don't have. We are caught up only in the name and form. We see differences. Therefore, mind gets more and more desires. This design is good, that design, that shop is good. So many thoughts we produce with respect to that, because desires are there. There is so many thoughts. But observe the jeweler, he is not disturbed by your thoughts. He is trying to, आपको ये अच्छा लगा क्या? हाँ हाँ. ये भी अच्छा लगा क्या? हाँ हाँ. दोनों ले लो. That is his strategy. कोई बात नहीं. मैडम, जिंदगी में कब मौका मिलता है? क्या भरोसा कल सवेरे जिएंगे कि नहीं? आज रात को पहन के सो जाओ. His job is to sell the gold. He is not interested in your... He is happy that you are caught up in this net of this Bheda Jnanam. So he knows Bheda Drushti Asatyam. Bheda Drushti is Asatya iti. Manaha Yoga Bhangaya na bhave. Therefore, mind is never gets disrupted in its yoga state. Where? For a Mahatma. Yogo na vihanti ete ityartha. These cannot cut, destroy, destabilize the yoga state. That is the meaning. Which one? The objects. The objects and experiences cannot destabilize the mind's yoga sthiti. In our case, everything can disrupt the mind. First of all, we are not in yoga sthiti, doesn't matter. Even by mistake, temporarily peaceful, that also is disturbed by passing thought. So, therefore, Vishaya Bhedaha Sanidhyavashat Manasa Gruhyamana api Vishaya Bhedaha, difference in sense objects, Sanidhyavashat, because of their proximity to the mind, Manasa, through the mind, Gruhyamana api, even though they are perceived, grasped, Abheda Rupe Swatma Sitasya, one who is established in oneself as a non-different, one homogeneous Atma Tattva, Niyuktasya Purushasya Yoga na bhajyate. One who is established in the truth, to him this yoga is never disrupted, it is never broken. The continuity of that Brahmanubhuti is never broken. Na bhajyate. Bheda drushti abhavat iti bhavaha. Why? Because he has no bheda drushti. Therefore, his yoga sthiti is not disrupted. Okay. Atha vishayagrahana agrahanabhyam hrudayastasya purushasya nishta na bhadhyata iti atah iti aha. Therefore, whether mind grasps the worldly objects or doesn't grasp the mind, it has nothing to do with the abidance, self-abidance of a Jivan Mukta Purusha. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता उनको. That we will see. 10th verse in the next class, which will be in the month of October. Okay? So you must remember this. When this will be uploaded in YouTube, please listen at least last talk and come. So I will make a statement like this. Yoga sthiti is not disrupted. Therefore, that's it. हाँ कौन सा योग स्थिति, क्या कहा, कब कहा, कब यहाँ, they will be uploaded, na? So you please listen and come. This is my statement. Yoga sthiti will not be disrupted. In the case of a man who has got that firm abidance in self. For him, it doesn't matter whether his mind is interacting with the world or grasping the worldly objects or not. That doesn't matter for a man whose abidance in self is firm. That will be the statement. Opening statement. Okay? October we will have talks. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Sat Gurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. October 2024, not 2025. Okay? Hari Om.